Have you noticed how hard it is to do nothing now? You sit down for a moment. No task, no conversation, no emergency, just a small empty space in the day, and almost immediately, you reach for something. Your phone, a video, music, another tab, anything. Not because you need it, but because being alone with your own mind suddenly feels uncomfortable. Silence feels strange, waiting feels wrong, and doing nothing feels almost unbearable. So you fill the space, not because you're lazy, not because you're weak, but because your brain has quietly learned something dangerous. Stillness is something to escape from. That's why you keep reaching for distractions even when you don't actually want them. Because distraction isn't always entertainment. Sometimes it's relief. Relief from boredom, relief from discomfort, relief from whatever shows up the moment life gets quiet. And if that sounds familiar, the problem probably isn't your attention span. It's that your brain has learned to treat stillness like a threat. Most people think distraction is about wanting entertainment, but often it's not entertainment. It's escape. A way to leave the moment for a few minutes, a way to avoid the boredom, the pressure, the uncertainty, the loneliness, the thing you know you should deal with but don't want to feel yet. That's why distraction is so powerful. It doesn't just give you something to do, it gives you a way out. And modern life has made that exit door available every second of the day. Think about the moments when you reach for distraction most. Waiting in line, eating alone, trying to start something difficult, sitting on the couch after work, lying in bed at night. The pattern is usually the same. A small, uncomfortable feeling appears, and your brain immediately tries to change the channel. Sometimes it's boredom, sometimes it's anxiety, sometimes it's the quiet awareness that you should be doing something else. Sometimes it's just emptiness. And before you've even understood what you're feeling, you're already somewhere else. Scrolling, watching, checking, consuming. And the strange thing is, it works, at least for a moment. The discomfort fades, the pressure softens, the silence disappears. But only temporarily, because when the distraction ends, you're back in the same life, the same thoughts, the same unfinished things, the same discomfort. And now your brain has learned something. When this feeling appears, escape. So the next time life gets quiet, the urge feels even stronger. The real problem is not that you enjoy distractions too much. It's that your brain has become less tolerant of unstimulated moments. It has adapted to constant input, short videos, messages, music, podcasts, notifications, background noise, fast novelty. And over time, ordinary silence starts to feel too quiet. A slow task feels too slow. A normal evening feels too empty. A few minutes alone with your thoughts feels like something you need to fix. That's when distraction stops being a habit and starts becoming conditioning. Your brain begins expecting stimulation before it has even understood what it's feeling. And if every uncomfortable moment gets covered immediately, you never build the ability to stay with it. That matters. Because life is not made only of exciting moments. It also contains boredom, waiting, effort, difficult conversations, unclear decisions, quiet evenings, hard work that doesn't reward you instantly. If your brain escapes every time life becomes slightly uncomfortable, you don't just lose focus, you lose access to the parts of life that require presence. The first shift is simple. The next time you reach for a distraction, pause for 10 seconds. Before opening the app, before pressing play, before checking the notification, ask yourself, what am I trying not to feel right now? Sometimes the answer will be obvious. I'm bored. I'm tired. I don't want to start. I feel behind. I feel lonely. You don't need to fix it immediately. You just need to notice it. Because the moment you see the feeling underneath the distraction, you are no longer fully automatic. And that is where control begins. Most people try to fix distraction by forcing more focus, but before your brain can focus deeply, it needs to remember how to be unstimulated. So create small pockets of nothing. Drink your coffee without your phone. Walk for 5 minutes without headphones. Wait in line without checking anything. Eat one meal without a screen. At first, it may feel boring, restless, maybe even pointless. That's normal. You are not wasting time. You are retraining your nervous system. You are teaching your brain that silence is not dangerous, that boredom is survivable, that discomfort does not need to be escaped immediately. And slowly, the empty spaces stop feeling like threats. They start feeling like room. You do not need to rely on willpower all day. That usually fails. Instead, change the environment. Move your phone away from your bed. Take social media off your home screen. Turn off notifications that don't matter. Keep one tab open when you work. Leave small gaps in your day where nothing is ready to entertain you. The goal is not to make distraction impossible, it's to make it less automatic. Because if every escape is one tap away, your brain will keep choosing it before you even realize a choice was made. A little friction gives awareness time to catch up, and sometimes that tiny delay is enough. Maybe the goal is not to become someone who never gets distracted. That person doesn't exist. Maybe the goal is to stop abandoning yourself every time life gets quiet. Because those quiet moments are not empty. They are where you notice what you feel, what you're avoiding, what you actually need, what matters. Distraction covers those signals. Presence reveals them, and that is why stillness feels uncomfortable at first. It brings you back into contact with your own life. But that contact is also where real change begins, not in the noise, not in the endless feed, not in the next thing you consume, but in the small moment where you stay instead of escape. The truth is, you will still reach for distraction sometimes. You will still scroll when you're tired, still avoid things occasionally, still look for something easy when life feels heavy. That doesn't mean you failed. It means you're human. But over time, you can start noticing the pattern sooner, the silence, the discomfort, the reach, the escape. And in that tiny space between feeling and reacting, you can choose differently. Not dramatically, just quietly. One coffee without your phone, one walk without noise, one task without switching away, one evening where you let the silence exist. And slowly, your mind stops needing to run from every empty moment. Life starts feeling less like something to escape from, and more like something you can finally return to, one quiet moment at a time.